Number one, the right mindset. Most people who start a business have the wrong map or idea about how business works. And it's not their fault. They do this because they got this idea from others, and they get these ideas from jobs that they worked in, and they get sometimes they get these ideas from school courses taught by people who have no idea about how to make it in the real world, especially in business. Now, if you bring the mindset that you learned in school or in a regular job to start a business, you will almost certainly fail. To succeed in business, you have to learn the key mindsets, and mind shifts that is needed to succeed, running any kind of business at all. I call them concepts. And the first concept is you have to bootstrap your business. Bootstrapping your business means not borrowing any money or seeking investor funding in order to start your business. It means you start out small and you grow until your business is as large as you want it to be. Why is this important? It's important for several reasons. A, you will own your business 100% when you bootstrap it. You will keep 100% of the profits, 100% of the growth that your business makes. And yes, you don't have to split it with co-investors or a partner or anybody else. And B, you will not be answerable to anybody. When you borrow money from the bank or anyone else to start your business, you will have to give them something to hold on to, otherwise known as a collateral. If you take money from investors, you will be answerable to them for as long as that business lasts, which may be sometimes a lifetime. You will have to do what they want, when they want, and it's just the same thing as having another boss. If you don't mind this happening, and in some cases, it's the best way to go. But understand this, it will put you under too much pressure, and coupled with the fact that your idea is still unproven, you will most likely make mistakes. If you fail with that business, you will lose any collateral that you have put up with the bank or with a private lender. If you take investor money and you fail, you lose credibility and you find it very, very hard raising money again in the future. Is that what you want? Trust me, you don't want this to happen. It's better to go out there and basically do it yourself. I'm sure you get my drift, right? So let's continue. Now, the second concept is what I call start small and go big. A lot of times when people start a business, they think they can never ever fail. So they go all out at the beginning and they throw everything they have got at the business, all of their money, all of their spouse's money, and they even borrow some more and throw everything in. Now, if they fail, they lose everything. And this leads to disappointment, it leads to depression, and then it forces you to quit. I remember when I left university in my final year to start my business. It was a dumb thing to do. I had only about 3 months left, and I should have stayed back to finish it. But I didn't because I felt I couldn't fail. I thought that my idea was the best thing ever. However, I failed severally over the next few years. In fact, it was so bad that for a stretch of time, I was flat broke. I was living in an abandoned flat, and I was having, only gari, sugar, and some groundnuts for a 3-month stretch. It took me about 4 years to perfect my strategy, and I lost everything many, many times within that 4 years. You don't want that to happen to you. What you should do when you start a business is to start small. Sell to one customer. Start with one idea. Refine your strategy. Sell to another customer. Refine your strategy again, and so on and so forth. Along the line, you will learn what works. You will learn what doesn't work. Because many things that you do will not work, despite your best intentions. And when you learn what works, then you will return those ones and make them better and better. The better you make them, the easier it will be for you to sell, make a lot of money, and grow your business. The third concept you have to understand is your business is not a job. Now, one of the things that causes a lot of failure, in a lot of business failure is approaching a business as if it is a job. It affects mostly people who leave their jobs to start their businesses. Your business is not a job. In your job, you are focused on just doing the minimum required and getting paid the salary like clockwork at the end of every month. A business is totally different. It requires a whole lot of responsibility, creating a super product, marketing that product, keeping your customers happy, hiring employees, interfacing with vendors, selling some more, bookkeeping, paying the tax authorities, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of moving parts to a business. You have to be on top of every one of it. Otherwise, someday, everything you have built will come crashing down. Then, the fourth concept is what I call you will get paid in proportion to the value that you provide. There's a reason why many businesses make more money than other kinds of businesses. And here is why. The harder the problem that your business helps other people solve, the higher they will gladly pay you for solving that problem. This is why private schools cost more than government schools. Students get better attention and care in private schools than in government schools. Right? The more timely the solution that you provide for other people, the higher they will pay you for it. This is why private jet shuttles cost higher than regular airport fares. It is faster, there's no waiting around at the airport lounges and receptions. It is more glamorous, and it basically is a better experience. So the better the experience that you give other people, the higher they will gladly pay you for giving them that experience. Again, this is why plastic surgeons can charge tens of thousands of dollars for breasts and butts enlargements, and women happily, pay because, it's going to make them look sexier. Now, on the flip side, right, a local side of the road restaurant, otherwise called a mama put, cannot charge probably more than $1,000 for a plate of food. But Cactus, an upscale place where I regularly eat, they can. In fact, they charge 7 to 13 times that. A cleaner will probably never earn higher than minimum wage each month. The work they do can be done by 1 million other ready cleaners, so their work and output is less valuable. A security guard working at a bank cannot make more money than the owner of the security company. He's just one security guard working at one bank location at any given time. The owner can deploy thousands of guards like him in hundreds of bank locations around the country at the same time. The owner provides better value for the bank, because they don't want just one security guard. They want hundreds of them to guard their premises all over. So that's it. The value you create for other people drives how much you make. The higher the value is to them, the more willing they are to pay for your product and the more income that you make. So think hard about your idea, right? Think about your idea and ask yourself, is it solving big problems for a lot of people? Only you can answer that. And that brings me to the fifth concept, which is that you are 100% responsible for your own success or failure. Understand this, guys. If your business succeeds or fails, it will be your doing. Business is not a kid's game. It's not an employee's job. It is your business. You are responsible for it succeeding or failing. You cannot blame your employees. You cannot blame your joint venture partners. You cannot blame the creators of the course that you studied to start. You cannot blame the platforms where you advertise. You cannot blame anybody or anything else for that matter. You will take 100% of the credit if your business succeeds. So why should you blame anyone if it fails? It's in your hands. You either show up or you fuck it up. It's your choice. And finally, the sixth concept is success will only come if you take action. The only way you can ever build a successful, profitable business is by taking action. Thinking about it will not do it. Dreaming up plans for days and months on end will not do it. Sampling people's opinions non-stop will not do it. Writing and polishing your ideas to make them better and better will not do it. Learning some more so that you feel ready will not do it. Only action will do it. So you must get started. You must start even if you think that everything you need isn't set and ready. You must start today, not tomorrow. Then you adjust as you move along, and as you move along, you will get feedback. You will learn what to avoid, and you will learn what to repeat. So what will you do today? What will you do? Will you get started? Will you start today? Will you start now? What is the next step in starting a profitable business? Right? Here it is. And that's what I'm going to discuss with you next.